Welcome back, everybody. So today we got some awesome news about The Walking Dead Season 10. We got some exclusive information from Entertainment Weekly. They've been hooking it up all week, so that's pretty awesome. The trailer is dropping tomorrow, which is very, very exciting. We're going to be doing the full trailer breakdown here on the channel, so stay tuned for that. But for today's video, we have a new image for The Walking Dead Season 10 regarding Eugene and his big role in Season 10, as well as Negan. So very exciting stuff. Let's break it down. So we did get some information about Eugene. This was the image that was going around here. You can see he's clearly having a conversation through the radio, which is important because we saw at the end of last season, we heard that voice in the radio, and based on this image, it looks like he's talking. His mouth is open, and we don't know exactly who's going to be in the other end, if it's going to be the CRM, if it's going to be the Commonwealth. Whatever it is, we are going to be getting some contact, which is very, very important and awesome. Who do you guys think it is? I'm really hoping it's going to be the CRM in some way, or somebody connected with Rick, because they do have to set up Michonne's exit. Remember that this is going to be her last season on the show, and if she's going to be in the movies, then they have to set it up in order for her to leave. We'll see what they do. I'm really hoping for it to be Rick, but you guys let me know if you think it's going to be Rick or the Commonwealth. It doesn't have to be Rick like himself, but just somebody in that location. But with that being said, let's go and talk about exactly what Angela Kang said regarding this photo. So this is what Angela Kang said about the photo. She said, "This will definitely be part of the season," says Kang now of the radio and the voice on the other end of it. "It's part of the fun mystery of the season, and it'll come into play in hopefully interesting ways that turn the story. I can't tip too much about it, but I think there's some fun to be had there." So this looks to be like the B story of the season, like maybe Eugene communicating with this person, because remember, they are going to be in the middle of the Whisper War during the first half, and then I think maybe after the Whisper War is when this radio thing is going to go into the storyline fully, like maybe they come into contact in person with them, but I'm very happy they brought this in because it's going to be exciting. But moving on, this is also what they had to say about the photo. "It appears by the photo that Eugene, like in the comics, will once again prove to be a key part in the proceedings. Eugene will definitely be playing a role in the story," Kang says. "He's certainly the one that's been helping set up these ham radios throughout all the communities. There are ways in which he is very involved. He's tech support in the apocalypse. He makes some interesting discoveries, and there is hopefully a very cool, satisfying story there." So they do mention there that it happens also in the comics, and it is Eugene. And they've been setting this up for a while. Eugene's been playing with radios for a very long time, and I'm happy now that it's paying off. The thing, though, like in the comics, it is the Commonwealth that he talks to. He runs into this girl named Stephanie, and they interact, and then they that she's part of the Commonwealth, and then that kind of sets up, them discovering the Commonwealth. It's a little bit more difficult to see exactly what's going to happen on the show because the show is so much larger than the comics, so it really could be, someone else, but we just don't know. It could be somebody connected to the CRM, it could be somebody connected to Georgie. Maybe Georgie is a different group in the Commonwealth. We just don't know, I'm hoping for it to be the CRM, which would set up Michonne's exit, because I do think if Michonne's going to be in the movies, I think she's going to have to go after Rick. It could be just like a coincidence where she leaves also, and then she runs into Rick during the movies. They could do that. I'm assuming that's what's going to happen. Again, they haven't confirmed anything about the movies just yet, but I think it obviously makes sense. I think killing Michonne would be a real bad move. I also remember a couple months ago when that moment first happened during the season 9 finale, Angela Kang had an interview and she said to expect the unexpected. So I don't know, I feel like expecting the Commonwealth is the Commonwealth is what everybody is kind of expecting because it happens in the comics. And then after reading this, saying it makes some interesting discoveries and hopefully it's a very cool, satisfying story there. All that being said, it could still be the Commonwealth. But something else that also tells us if it is the Commonwealth is that we will be getting the Commonwealth in season 10, or at least some other group, some other plot that's going to be going on in season 10 besides the Whisper War. And I say that because All Out War, which was 2 seasons ago, took up the entirety of season 8, and I know that didn't sit well with a lot of people because there was a lot of savior fatigue by the time season 8 was finished. And I think they know that. I think they know that the Savior storyline took way too long. It took 2 full years. And the Whisper War isn't as long though in the comics either. I still think that it would be a smart move for them to do it only half a season. Maybe they could stretch it out a little bit more, like maybe 11, 12 episodes. We don't know. But I think because they're setting up this radio thing, it definitely tells us that it's going to be, not a full season of a Whisper War. They're going to be setting up a different story during the second half. You guys let me know, what do you think is going on here? Do you think he's talking to somebody connected to the Commonwealth, Georgie? Maybe Georgie is the Commonwealth, because that also is a thing. If Georgie is the Commonwealth, we already have Maggie connecting our group to the Commonwealth. It doesn't have to be Eugene. Eugene could be connected to a different group. So there's a bunch of ideas out there, because the Walking Dead TV show and the Walking Dead on AMC is so much bigger than the comics, in terms of the universe. So you guys let me know in the comments down below, who do you think he's in contact with. But with that being said, let's move on and talk about some new information we have about Negan. So we also got some information from Entertainment Weekly and Angela Kang that it looks like Negan will be freed from his cell in season 10. I've kind of been speculating about this because of that moment Michonne and Negan had at the end of last season, which Angela Kang also talks about. But before we talk more about this, let's go into exactly what Angela Kang had to say. She said, "We had a whole year with him in his cell," Kang says. "So I think after his heroic rescue of Judith, people might have noticed that when he was in the bed in the infirmary, he was not tied up or cuffed. So we're dealing with the next stage of what things are for Negan. I think people who have been wanting us to release Negan, there will be some satisfaction there." So there you go. She basically indirectly confirmed there that, he will be released from his cell. We don't know if it's going to be the start of the season. They did say the season 10 will pick up with a bit of a time jump, like a couple months, so I wouldn't be surprised if Negan is going to be out of the cell by then. I'm really happy with what they did with Negan last season, because we just came off of 2 years of Negan and the Saviors. They didn't have Negan all in front of the camera. They put him in the cell, and I think that was really well done. They put Negan to the side, and now I think it is time for Negan to come back into the picture more, which I'm excited about. He seems to be getting comfortable with Michonne, like she mentioned there, that he wasn't tied up. He was talking to Michonne. I think Michonne even said thank you. And then also earlier in the season, he was asking Michonne for a job. I don't think he's going to get the job he was asking for, because he was saying like how he's a good leader and he can lead people. That might come back into play, because Negan, he is a leader, but I think the job he will get at Alexandria might be like, just a low job or something. Maybe some I don't think he's going to be part of the council or anything, is what I'm saying. But I do think he's going to work up there. I think he's going to slowly gain the trust of everybody. The one person I'm curious about, like, how is this person going to ever forgive Negan, and that's Daryl. The only way I can ever see Negan and Daryl seeing eye to eye is if maybe Negan saves Daryl's life or something. And even then, I feel like Daryl would just give Negan like a little thank you, and then that's it. So those two maybe and probably will never really see eye to eye, and that's okay. There's always characters in The Walking Dead that never, are like best friends or anything like that, but I'm just kind of interested to see how those two are going to do in season 10. And then moving on, she also had this to say: "Negan's story is one of my personal favorites in this season," notes King. "Things get complicated because it's Negan. Some of the stuff Jeffrey Dean Morgan is doing is so compelling, because here's a guy who has been on the path of trying to redeem himself in some way, but he's still Negan. He's not the hero, he's at best an anti-hero, but there's definitely darkness and an edge to him." And this next part is really interesting. So Kang also teases that Negan could indeed play a big role in the current war with the Whispers, as he did in the comic. When that is in the mix with the story having to do with this new set of enemies, and when he himself is still an outsider in the community, just a lot of explosive things are at play. So this definitely gets me excited, because imagine seeing Negan fight alongside the survivors, like just seeing the comparison between season 8, them fighting against Negan, and now in season 10, Negan fighting with them. That's going to be awesome. And I'm excited to see what Negan does in the Whisper War. We haven't really seen Negan fight that much. Like, the Saviors did a lot of his dirty work for him. We've seen him fight Rick and walkers here and there, but I want to see Negan, stand on his own and fight the Whisperers. I think that's going to be really awesome to see. So it does look like Negan will have a bigger role in The Walking Dead Season 10, which I'm excited about. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you guys think about all this information? I am going to wrap it up there. I just wanted to share this new information we got from Entertainment Weekly. Tomorrow is going to be the big trailer. I'm very, very excited about it. We'll be doing breakdowns and analysis here on this channel, so be sure to subscribe if you are a fan of The Walking Dead. Like I said, I am going to wrap it up there. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Be sure to leave all your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.